Hello once again, Niner Faithful, and welcome to another episode of 49ers Playbook on the channel that's trying to answer the whys and hows of the game. This past Thursday, the 49ers were able to get a resounding win over the New York Football Giants. On defense, they were able to control the line of scrimmage, get tons of pressure on Daniel Jones, and continue to grow cohesiveness under new defensive coordinator Steve Wilks. On offense, it took a little bit to adjust to what Wink Martindale was doing, but they were able to put up 30 points with an effective run game and poised play by Brock Purdy after the Giants blitzed at the highest rate recorded in the next-gen stats era. The Giants were swinging for the fences on each play, and the 49ers were able to feast, which you can do if you visit whiteoakpastures.com/JD49. We are an affiliate of White Oak Pastures, but it's more than that. If you caught the owner, Will Harris, on the Joe Rogan Experience, you heard all about how they transformed from being a traditional factory farming method ranch to being a sustainable regenerative farm. This is beyond organic, beyond grass-fed. Cattle from White Oak Pastures are completely pasture-raised, fed only grass and hay for their entire lives. They're never given growth hormones or antibiotics. This is meat the way your great-grandparents knew it. Beef from grass-fed, grass-finished cows is leaner, higher in omega-3s and omega-6s, lower in cholesterol, higher in antioxidants like vitamin E. It is just overall better for you. It's also better for the environment. They estimate that for every 1 pound of beef they produce, it removes 3.5 pounds of carbon from the atmosphere. You can also use coupon code JD49 to get $20 off your first order of $150 or more. It comes in 2-day perishable shipping, butchered and vacuum packed at the farm. So check out whiteoakpastures.com/JD49 with coupon code JD49. Good for the animal, good for the land, and good for you. You're watching Johnny Dell's Football Academy. Brock Purdy has been really impressive. He just doesn't look like a guy making only his 11th career start. Wink Martindale showed early that they were going to blitz and blitz often and come with all kinds of pressure packages. Here they're coming with a 2-deep fire zone, which is a 2 deep and 4 underneath coverage. And we could get pretty deep in the weeds on the ins and outs of the coverage, but the Giants are showing single high pre-snap and will drop late to the 2 deep fire zone, while coming with an overload blitz to the weak side. Overload meaning they're bringing more rushers than the offense can block. We have a double slant concept with Kittle and Deebo. It's the vision from Purdy that's so impressive. At the snap, he sees the overload blitz, the inside zone defender take Kittle, and know he's got Deebo on the slant. His processing is so quick to see what the defense is doing and get the ball out with an accurate throw to pick up a first down. But one thing that helps your young quarterback out is when you can pick up a first down running the ball on 2nd and 10. Here we're coming with our counter run. You make this look like the wide zone with the linemen moving horizontally down the line, a key part of the wide zone, but they're down blocking. And you'll bring Burford across to kick out the end man and have Juice lead up in the hole, with Kittle moving up to the second level after he helps on a down block. It's a thing of beauty when it works right, and you get a first down on 2nd and 10. But again, the vision and poise that Brock Purdy has shown is quite remarkable. We start out by motioning Kittle across, and with a defender traveling, it reveals man coverage. But New York is really muddying the look on if there will be any to help defenders or not. We've got Jennings on a lookie route, and New York is bringing a 5-man pressure with a single safety deep. So Purdy sees it and hits Jennings on the lookie route. It's a really impressive throw though, as he had to get it through the window with McCaffrey's man shadowing him across. But it's a big gain that sets up the team for a field goal to start the game. While Nick Bosa hasn't been lighting up the stat sheet, his presence has been absolutely noticeable, and we've also seen Isaiah Oliver make some really nice plays the last couple games. Here, the Giants are in 3rd and 8 on their first drive, and they're going to keep both the tight end and running back in to help block to Bosa's side, so they'll make sure they're able to double him, even if we bring pressure off that side. They're only running a 3-man pattern with 2 fades and a quick out. We're in man coverage and Oliver does a good job staying on top of the receiver so that even with the completion, he's got an angle to make a good tackle for almost no gain and force the field goal try. But from the end zone, you'll see how much attention Bosa was getting. On the next drive, Bosa gets his first sack of the year. The Giants are trying to run something we run a lot, a slide concept where you'll fake a wide zone one way and have a bootleg pass out the other. They're trying to get down on Bosa for just a second to allow Jones to hit the edge and roll out, but Bosa is just too fast off the line and nearly gets a safety. One thing Brock Purdy did really well was handle the insane amount of blitzing. New York is giving a zone look with two safeties but a muddied front. We have a smash concept with Kittle and Juszczyk, with a flat route and a corner route. New York ends up coming with a zero blitz, which is a 6-man pressure with 5 defenders in man coverage. Purdy just beats it. I think people don't appreciate how good of a throw this is. He's having to drift back to his left because of the all-out blitz and drops an absolute dime on a layered throw to get it over the underneath defender, but out in front of Kittle. This is as good of a throw as you're going to see in the NFL, period. From the end zone, you can really see how good of a throw this was. The point that seemed to really spark the offense, though, was a huge conversion on 3rd and 15. This was one of the few passing plays the Giants didn't come with a blitz. They're in cover 2 zone, and we're going to hit them with the tunnel screen to Deebo. It's fascinating how time and again it seems like the team is able to convert 3rd and long with these plays. Trent executes his block well, slipping out and walling off the DN from pursuit, and we get great blocks from Ronnie Bell and Juwan Jennings. The key though is how Deebo sets up Banks' block. He draws the safety inside, which sets up the cutback outside, where there's a big hole, and he gains 30 yards on 3rd and 15. We then get another big conversion on 3rd and 13 with another screen pass, this time to McCaffrey. This is really good design by Kyle Shanahan. It's again interesting how this was another one of the few plays that New York didn't blitz and got burned for a big gain on 3rd and long. The Giants are going to come out in man coverage, cover 1 man with a lurk. We have 3 receivers at the top, with McCaffrey and Deebo to the 2 receiver side. From there, we'll run Deebo on a now route to draw his man away from the screen. This then creates space where McCaffrey will be all alone to that side of the field with the screen. The line is able to pick up McCaffrey's man, and with 4 defenders plus 2 middle of the field help defenders away from the play, it opens up a ton of space for McCaffrey to get the first down and then some. We then cap off the drive with Ronnie Bell's first career touchdown. We start out by motioning McCaffrey out wide, and with the linebacker moving out to cover him, reveals man coverage. Having been beat on the last 2 third downs by dropping into coverage, New York is coming with a zero blitz. And this is so good by Brock Purdy. We're running a China concept with McCaffrey on a now route and Bell on an out route. Shanahan calls this a tree route with a depth of 10 yards. McCaffrey is the hot here, but Purdy saw the man coverage pre-snap with inside leverage on Bell. This is one thing you love about Purdy. Why settle for the now route for 3 yards when you can get the 10 yards for the touchdown? Just look at the timing and anticipation here. That's trust in your receiver and why the 49ers are so high on Ronnie Bell too. Purdy is going to throw this to a landmark. He's in his windup before Bell has come out of his break. But he still needs to buy enough time for Bell to get there. He's able to put this ball right on the money while drifting back and throwing off platform. This is not normal stuff, people, especially from guys who haven't even had a full season's worth of starts. But back on defense, we're going to see Kinlaw do some good things. I've been someone who's been tough on Kinlaw at times, but he's had some real nice reps so far this year. Here we come out with 5 down linemen, are playing man coverage behind it, and watch the bull rush Kinlaw puts on the guard to force the pressure. But the drive ends with a Javon Hargrave sack. This is again something you love to see, the marriage of good coverage with a good pass rush. We're in man coverage and the Giants start out with Darren Waller in the backfield. And this is some good game planning here, as the Giants are going to motion Waller wide right before the snap and have him on a choice route out of the backfield. This is where they want to go with the ball on 3rd and short, and Wilkes and the defense are ready for it. Greenlaw and Gibson are going to have an in-out double on him. At the snap, you see that's where Jones wants to go with the ball, but is bracketed and taken away. That's the coverage part. Then you mix it with a good pass rush by Hargrave, and now you have something great. From the end zone, you can see Hargrave attack the guard, getting under his pads and driving him back, disengage, and get the sack on Jones. That's the marriage of good coverage with good pass rush, and it forces a punt. Back on offense, the drive is sparked by a chunk gain from Elijah Mitchell. One thing the 49ers are going to do when you play them is force the other team's corners to tackle. People rarely think about corners being involved in the run game. We think of their job being to cover wide receivers, and yes, that is a big part of their job, but if a team comes in with guys who aren't going to get physical on the outside in the run game, they will come at you all game. Here we're running our sweep where you'll get crack blocks on the outside, pull McKivitz, and have Ross Dwelly lead around as well. Everything is blocked well and you get Mitchell one-on-one with a corner. Mitchell makes a miss and you get a huge gain. Then we cap the drive off with a touchdown by McCaffrey. This is our wide zone, and McCaffrey is just so stinking good. His vision is impeccable. I can't overstate how crucial the timing of his cuts are. He's on time all the time. By his read step, he's working outside in, sees the edge set, the one tech has pursued to the point, and the backside defensive tackle has pursued as well. With number 99, the way the blocking rules work, there won't be a scoop block here by McKivitz. He'll peel off and go to the second level, while Burford will now drive him down the line. This is why the running back understanding what he's seeing is so important. CMC sees it and will cut on his 5th step, just like Gibbs taught it, and you see the hole is there and gone in an instant, and he gets in for the touchdown. Back on defense, we force a 57-yard field goal try before the half. Again, sometimes the stats don't tell the whole story. Bosa and Armstead win so fast on their pass rush, an off-target throw by Daniel Jones is the only thing that keeps New York from a sack and being pushed out of field goal range. We'll run this twice so you can watch each guy. First, Armstead wins with a double swipe move on the guard. Bosa also wins with the swipe, and they have a meeting at the quarterback. You can't ask for anything better from these two. That's as quick of pressure as you'll see from two guys beating their man as it gets. Coming out of the half, you'll see a great example of how San Francisco was able to control the line of scrimmage. The Giants are trying to run a wide zone, and Bosa and Hargrave play this so well. Bosa first sets the edge, keeping his outside arm free, and this will force the run inside. Hargrave, once the guard moves off to the second level, knows the center is trying to scoop and seal him off, so he works down the line. They are both able to disengage and make the tackle. To further the point of how well they did in this game, just a few plays later, the Giants are going to run the same play again. Wide zone to the weak side, and again at Bosa and Hargrave. You see they both play it just as well the second time. This time the running back is going to try and bounce it outside after what happened the last time, but there's nowhere to go. Bosa kept contained, and his presence forces the running back to take a wide angle. The inside wasn't there because Bosa and Hargrave just played it well. He's got no blocking to the outside, and Burks makes a tackle for a loss. Credit to Burks, but this is set up by the textbook play of Hargrave and Bosa. And then again, the stats just don't tell the whole story. On third down, the Giants are going to keep both tight ends and a running back in to chip and release. That's the resources they were devoting to slowing down this pass rush. So Daniel Jones only has 2 receiving options from the start of the play until those guys chip and release. They have to have time for this play to develop. There's no quick option. But watch Hargrave work on the center here. For a play when the offense has 8 men in protection to give up pressure instantly, it's almost not fair. Hargrave has been a huge addition to this defense. Back on offense, we get a field goal set up by an explosive play to Deebo Samuel. One thing we saw over and over again was the respect New York gave to the 49ers run game. Just about every time New York was in a base defense with 3 defensive tackles and 2 outside linebackers, they'd bring those guys and play a 6-man coverage behind it. They were trying to keep those guys moving forward all game to disrupt the run game. Here, Martindale has some interesting design on this fire zone. It's a cover 3 cloud fire zone, or a 3 deep fire zone with a corner playing in the flat. And the 49ers are coming with a staple play, the pin concept, which is a post plus dig or deep in off play action. The run action holds New York's underneath defenders, and the post route grabs the middle safety, leaving the intermediate area wide open for Deebo. Then you get Deebo in space, and he's special with the ball in his hands. He forces 4 missed tackles, including 2 from Pinnock, for a 40-yard gain. Back on defense, I want to point out the pressure again. We're in our 5 defensive line set, again in man coverage, so Fred Warner is covering Matt Breida. The Giants again keep a tight end and running back into block, and the rush still gets there so fast. Sometimes we can talk about how our guys aren't getting the sacks we see from some other teams, but you're also seeing the opposing teams absolutely refuse to let their guys try and take on San Francisco's front in one-on-ones across the board. They're just not doing it. They're going to have a tackle and tight end on Bosa, and he still wins almost immediately. Bosa ends up occupying 3 blockers on the play and still gets pressured. The play ends up in offsetting penalties, but these are the plays that never end up on the stat sheet. Back on offense, one of the better plays from Brock Purdy was a near touchdown that still ended up in a defensive penalty. I actually put out on Twitter last week that I expected us to hit Juszczyk down the sideline at some point in the game. I was right on the play, just not the guy they used. I had seen the way New York matched some of their zones and figured Shanahan was going to pull out this play at some point. It's a basic route paired with a wheel route. Versus some zones, the idea is to get the deep third to match the basic route and run a wheel behind it. They actually get man coverage here, but it still works the same way as you have McCaffrey matched on a linebacker on a wheel route out of the backfield. But the way Brock Purdy plays this is perfect. In his drop back, he keeps his eyes down the middle of the field, which holds the safety. That's crucial, especially when the safety was already shaded to that side. He feels the pressure and climbs the pocket, keeping himself in a throwing position, and then delivers an absolute strike to McCaffrey. You really can't do this any better than that. Seriously, Purdy has been playing at a super high level. Back on defense, we force a 3 and out again after getting pressure on third down. We actually got a little lucky here. There was some pre-snap confusion on who had who in man coverage, and Mooney Ward was late to get over to his guy. But the Giants again keep a tight end and running back into block. How many times have I said that? They devoted a lot to try and slow down Bosa. We run a stunt with Hargrave and Armstead, and Hargrave eats up a double, allowing Armstead to come through, and it forces the incomplete pass. Then back on offense, we start out a scoring drive with a big play to Deebo. This is an RPO or run pass option. It's an inside zone with a quick slant to Deebo as an option. Purdy sees the Giants overloading the weak side pre-snap, knows these guys are coming and the space it creates for Samuel. So he takes the snap and hits Deebo, who is just special with the ball in his hands. We then cap the drive with a beautiful throw to Deebo. To talk about this play, I'm actually going to jump back a ways to show how this play was set up, what Kyle and Purdy saw, and how they adjusted throughout the game. So this was a play that we were strangely fortunate on the tip, but let's notice the details here. The ball is on the far hash, Deebo is split wide, we're condensed to the boundary side, in shotgun. The Giants are in man coverage here, and Adoree Jackson is playing way off of Deebo with inside technique. We're going to run a double slant here. You'd think by the look pre-snap this ball is there, but Jackson is gambling on the slant the whole way and he makes a big jump on the slant, nearly causing a pick. Okay, so now we fast forward to this play. Ball is on the far hash, Deebo is split wide, condensed to the boundary side, Purdy is in shotgun. The Giants are in man coverage and Adoree Jackson is playing way off of Deebo with inside technique. This time, we're going to run what looks like a double slant, but have Deebo on the sluggo. This is what Kyle Shanahan saw and had Purdy run. Adoree Jackson was so aggressive on the slant, now we hit him with the slant and go. Jackson is playing with such an inside technique and flat-footed, it allows Deebo to get him out of phase, and Brock Purdy puts a perfect ball out there for the score. You go against Kyle Shanahan, you better be ready to play 3D chess and adjust as the game goes. If he ever sees a guy playing overly aggressive, you can bet he's going to come after that guy at some point, and we do here for a dagger to the heart. Then we finish it off with an interception to effectively ice the game. It's third and forever, and the Giants are trying to run a slant, flat, or dragon concept against us. We're in cover 4, and Mooney Ward reads this so well. He's in off coverage, and once he sees the flat route coming, is ready to jump on the slant, drives on it, deflecting the pass that Hufanga ends up coming down with. Overall, it was a real impressive performance in a game where it felt like New York threw everything they had at the 49ers in a desperate attempt. But in the end, San Francisco's defense was too talented, and they just couldn't rattle Brock Purdy. Overall, I've been really impressed with Purdy, and there's been nothing to show that the young man won't be successful with this team for a very long time. It's so exciting to see where this team could go this season, but for now, we're going to take it one game at a time, and this week, it'll be all about focusing on the Cardinals. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit the notifications bell to be alerted to when a video goes live. Also, you can catch every episode of 49ers Playbook ad-free on our Patreon. If you'd like to support the channel in any way, I'll have links for that below. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and go Niners.